हैं कि ब्रिक्स समिट के लिए कजान जैसे खूबसूरत शहर में आने का अवसर मिला है। इस शहर के साथ भारत के गहरे और ऐतिहासिक संबंध रहे हैं।
У нас такие отношения, что я считал, что вы и так все понимаете.
हमारे इस रिश्ते हैं कि मुझे ऐसा लगा कि आपको कोई अनुवाद नहीं चाहिए।
एक्सेलेंसी, पिछले 3 महीनों में मेरा 2 बार रूस आना हमारे करीबी समन्वय और गहरी मित्रता को दर्शाता है।
Then Prime Minister Narendra Modi departed for a 2-day visit to Russia to attend the 16th BRICS Summit in Kazan, held from October 22 to October 24, 2024, under the theme Strengthening Multilateralism for Just Global Development and Security. During the summit, Modi will engage in bilateral meetings with BRICS leaders, including a confirmed meeting with Russian President Vladimir Putin. Key discussions will focus on economic cooperation, trade settlements in national currencies, sustainable development, digital inclusion, and India's life mission for climate action. Both countries aim to achieve $100 billion in trade by 2030, with progress to be reviewed at an intergovernmental meeting in November. The summit also highlights BRICS expansion with the inclusion of 5 new members, including Saudi Arabia and Iran. Modi will showcase India's achievements in women-led development and UPI systems while strengthening ties with Russia and fostering cooperation within the global south. Please subscribe to our channel for more news.
मेरा 2 बार रूस आना हमारे करीबी समन्वय और गहरी मित्रता को दर्शाता है।
Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Chinese President Xi Jinping held bilateral talks on October 23, 2024 on the sidelines of the 16th BRICS Summit in Kazan, Russia. This meeting marked the first formal interaction between the two leaders in 5 years, following efforts to ease tensions along the line of actual control in eastern Ladakh. Both leaders emphasized the importance of restoring peace and stability along the border to facilitate the normalization of bilateral ties. They acknowledged the significance of stable relations between India and China in promoting regional and global prosperity. The discussions focused on strategic communication and improving ties through existing diplomatic channels. Modi and Xi Jinping expressed commitment to strengthening cooperation within the BRICS framework and discussed potential collaboration in multilateral platforms.
केवल हमारे लोगों के लिए ही नहीं, लेकिन वैश्विक शांति, स्थिरता और प्रगति के लिए भी हमारे संबंध बहुत अहम है। एक्सेलेंसी, सीमा पार पिछले 4 वर्षों में उत्पन्न हुए मुद्दों पर बनी सहमति का हम स्वागत करते हैं। सीमा पर शांति और स्थिरता बनाए रखना हमारी प्राथमिकता रहनी चाहिए। म्यूचुअल ट्रस्ट, म्यूचुअल रिस्पेक्ट और म्यूचुअल सेंसिटिविटी हमारे संबंधों का आधार बने रहना चाहिए। आज इन सभी विषयों पर बात करने का अवसर मिला है। मुझे विश्वास है कि हम खुले मन से बातचीत करेंगे और हमारी चर्चा कंस्ट्रक्टिव होगी। धन्यवाद।
US we will deal a little later. But what about Canada situation?
Yeah, just imagine, some time ago you would have said Canada we will deal with later, let's talk about the US. So now, for some inexplicable reason you are saying US बाद में बात करेंगे, चलो Canada की बात करें.
US and Canada are main players in the western part of the world. US we will deal a little later. But what about Canada situation? How are we dealing with it? Now, have we
Yeah,
contained
just
it?
imagine, some time ago you would have said Canada we will deal with later, let's talk about the US. So now, for some inexplicable reason you are saying US बाद में बात करेंगे, चलो Canada की बात करें.
US is not problematic for us.
No, that's true, I agree. I agree.
Yeah.
US is not problematic for us.
But Canada is, even though it's a lightweight.
Unfortunately, I agree there also.
But such a wonderful people to people relationship, and now it is a struggling economy and whatever. But why Trudeau will be doing this?
I think, that's a question you need to have Trudeau here, not Jaishankar, to answer. I can only speculate. Look, to some extent, I think there is a general Western issue, and to some extent, a very specific Canada issue. I think the Western issue has been, after all, let's be frank, the world order after 1945 was heavily Western. I mean, it was before 45 also in an imperial colonial sense. And after 1990s, it was again very, very Western. So what has happened, you can say, in the last 20, 25 years, is that there is what you can call a rebalancing, a multipolarity. Many non-Western countries have a bigger share, bigger contribution, a bigger role, if you would, and a bigger influence which will naturally come. So the equations, in a way, between the West and the non-West, I think is changing. And it's not easy to adjust to that. If you've been dominant and you are less dominant, if there was a time when, in the conversation you were looking up and I was looking down, and now the conversation is no longer like that. It takes a little bit of getting used to. So I would say, in a broad way, on multiple subjects, today this